Hi, I'm Leanne Hadley, and I'm so glad that you're here at Pieta today. Um, we're working our way through this book, The Amen Effect. It looks like this, and today we're doing chapter one. We're covering chapter one. There is so much in this book. It is so dense, and I think you're really going to love it. It's all about what is holiness, and in Sharon Browse's opinion, holiness is more than just understanding, believing, a list of beliefs. It's being community for one another. It's showing up, and in the showing up of the community is found holiness. So it's a new definition of holiness. Very exciting, and I think it is. It's very accurate as far as I can tell. So, or I guess in the way that I believe, it's very accurate. I love this idea that holiness is not a set of beliefs, but our way of being in the world, our loving presence in the world. And she begins with this beautiful ancient pilgrimage that happened at the temple. And people would go to the temple and they would ascend a lot of stairs. And when they would get to the top, they would go in one gate called the Huldah Gate, which was named after an ancient prophetess, Huldah, who told King Josiah when he was about 12 years old to follow the sacred text of God. And so, anyway, he did that. His kingdom was successful, and Huldah is forever remembered as a woman prophetess, very rare back in the times before Christ. Anyway, they entered the Huldah Gate, and they would circle around the whole temple and out the other side. And it was a prayer. It was saying, God, strengthen us as a community. Strengthen your children, your chosen children, all those things. It was a very beautiful prayer. Other people that were grieving, so these were the non-grieving people. These were people that just wanted to come there, thank God, spend time together. People that were in grief or had been discommunicated from the community for any reason would go in the other door and circle that way around. And when they would meet somebody, so these okay people are going this way, the grieving are coming this way. When they would cross, they would stop. And the person who was not grieving or not upset would say, "What's the matter?" And the person will respond, "Well, I'm hurt. Something's wrong. I've been discommunicated from my community." And the person who was okay would say, "Amen. I see you." Or, "May God be near you." Or, "May you be reunited with the community that you need." And it was this beautiful service of healing, which is found in a Mishnah called the Mishnah Midot, which you remember from last week probably. The Mishnah is a set of books that Jewish people consider very holy, and which is written by the rabbis after the codified Bible that they use. So anyway, it's a beautiful story. And then she goes on to talk about that it's not only in sad times that we do this, but also in good times. That good, bad, we come together, we celebrate. And she talks about this thing called neuromotoring or neuroimaging. And what she talks about is that when we gather, and let's say I'm sad, but you're not sad, in that moment, my happiness, my compassion brings out in you joy. And so it alleviates your suffering. And the same way, when I'm suffering and you're joyful because of this mirror neurons that happen, when I'm sad and you're not, but we're together, you make me feel better. Not by what you say, but by your very being. So she says, community is gathering together and saying, "Amen, I see you." Healing the community is by coming together and saying, "Amen, I see you." So we have a few questions for today, and let me find them real quick. The first question is, hold on one second. So the ancient, ritual directed the brokenhearted to walk in the opposite direction of the rest of the community. And so our first question is, have you ever felt that you were walking in one direction while the entire world was walking in a different direction? And the second question is, what's hard about that? And how would it benefit you to acknowledge publicly what you've been through? The third question is, what kind of assurances or what kind of community would you need before you could do that? So, those are our 3 questions for discussion today. I hope that you enjoy this book as much as I do. And more importantly, I hope that you start reconsidering what holiness is. Holiness is not that we all agree on theological differences. Holiness is community. Holiness is showing up for one another in the good times and the bad. She ends with a beautiful quote. Let me find it here. That says, I realized, this is a realization she had as a rabbi, I realized I needed to be explicit about our obligation to show up for each other in the hardest moments and in the best moments. To show up, to err on the side of presence. This becomes clear to me. The path to manifesting the beloved community that we're called to be, the beloved community out in the world, had to begin with building a beloved community in our own synagogue, in our own home, in our own circles, in our own Pieta groups. That's holiness, manifesting the beloved community. And that happens when we celebrate together and grieve together and refuse to look away. That's the Amen effect. I hope you have a great session, and one of these days I look forward to coming to your group and getting to know you all. Take care.